any organ in our system is prone to a condition.
You have your dreams and you have your ambitions, and then you get a lifelong condition.
My esteem was very low, so I just find coping mechanisms. At some point I even learned how to fake confidence, but you can't really fake esteem.
My brain was just thinking, I was like, you know what, there's some pills, maybe if I pop some of them, and maybe I'll stop being a burden to myself, stop being a burden to my family.
Up to now, the doctor is like, what did you do to yourself?
Sometimes it's not someone wanting to die, it's wanting the suffering and the pain to end.
Janet Wanjiru has attempted suicide so many times she has lost count. Her husband, Walter Akelo, places the attempts at above 10.
I just know we had a fight. I was drunk, I was smoking, and then I took like all the pills I had at that time. We fought, I think, on a Wednesday, I think. And I was discovered in a room on a Friday.
The 27-year-old's long struggle with low self-esteem seems to have been the trigger.
The most recent was sometime early this year. I really said goodbye, like the way you put your child to sleep, you sleep. Then my husband works from home, so he had just finished his project and was going to sleep also. So I stayed here watching I think a movie or something. So I just did the same thing. Went for the nearest medicines and took.
Many are the times when he has found her lying on the floor unconscious with empty medicine containers strewn all over.
So it was really shocking, sad. Still, as a man, you have to do something. So it was really confusing. It's difficult. You're used to seeing such things on movies. But looking at someone almost losing their life, it's not easy.
Janet is permanently on suicide watch. Her husband has to hide medication and any cleaning solvents to make their home safe.
There are some specific words that she will use, that I came to learn that people use when they are almost attempting suicide. First of all, they'll have a certain goodbye. Tell you guys, goodbye, I love you guys, you've been great. Then there's a lot of loss of hope. Words which show that, she's not really worth it in life.
Janet, who is currently expecting her second child, was diagnosed with major depressive disorder in 2006. She is among the 10% of adult Kenyans who suffer from depression. Kanyige Konyo has made 2 attempts at his life, in 2002 and again in 2006.
It's almost like a death sentence. You've just been hung, you've been given the verdict that you're in for life. The reality of the illness is with you at all times, almost like a haunting. You're like, I can't live like this. I probably might not be able to settle down. I probably won't be able to enjoy life. The illness is like a yoke of oppression. It is that sense of hopelessness. You cannot continue. You do not have the strength. The world, it's like driving to Mombasa on gear 2. You're just exhausted and you're stuck.
Depression is a big problem in Kenya, with 30 to 50% of Kenyans experiencing it within the course of their life. Most people who commit suicide or attempt it suffer from severe depression.
We have criteria which would determine whether this is within the normal range or not. If somebody goes into severe mourning because they've been told that they're not going to have their usual morning cup of tea, then that is a bit of a problem. Around exams seems to be an unfortunate area of trigger for committing suicide. Scenarios around retirement, especially without useful plans. People can get into different aspects of depression, and sometimes it leads to actual suicidal kind of behavior. You've retired, your benefits don't seem to be able to allow you to live the kind of life that you are used to, and therefore you just resort to really dangerous, irresponsible behavior, including just drinking and other kinds of maladaptive behavior. And very many members of family or immediate community will keep on wondering whether the person's on a death wish.
Feelings of worthlessness and hopelessness occupy their minds, and their thoughts are out of touch with reality. Depression exhibits itself in two major ways: unipolar disorder and bipolar disorder.
When we talk about bipolar conditions, we're talking about the mood disorders. We're talking about conditions in which a person may actually get severely depressed and exhibit depressive symptoms. As I said, they're sad, they're quiet, low mood, they don't want to talk to anybody, their sleep is thoroughly disturbed, and their eating is messed up. Or they may become manic, in which case they're hyper excited, they're dashing around all over the landscape, unable to sit still, talking a lot, having wonderful ideas, and definitely behaving out of the norm in an excitable manner. Then on the other hand, you may just have a condition which is more unipolar, or a depressive disorder, where we're talking about an individual who just exhibits the depressed symptoms.
The risk of committing suicide in both conditions is equally high.
With depression, it's almost, that's like the determining factor. You're mostly suicidal most of the time. So I've reached that point many times.
I just don't know how to make my life work with this yoke over my neck.
Genetic factors, social circumstances, economic issues, and major life events are some of the predisposing elements. Gikonye remembers his brother's suicide vividly, as would anyone else who stumbled upon his elder brother's 17-year-old lifeless body lying on the bed, foaming. Next to it were empty medicine jars.
He was taken to hospital and pronounced dead on arrival. It was disastrous on the family. When it happened, it was just one of those blows. I was like, that was another pillar of a person that has just gone.
People who suffer from depression are advised to seek therapy and counseling or take medication, sometimes with serious side effects.
Usually what we do is to weigh the benefits, given the condition of the individual.
They also have to part with upwards of 8,000 shillings per month for the drugs, and most insurance companies decline to cover such individuals or put up stringent control measures.
It's quite tough. If you have a psychiatric condition, the premiums go high, and that's automatic, a given. And the grace period is so long, so you even opt to just save and have your own. You just know this month this is what we're gonna use on medicine.
Discriminating and ridiculing such individuals only affirms their feelings of worthlessness.
You feel like you're less than a human being, and unfortunately, because of stigma in society, it echoes the same feeling of self-worthlessness.
It starts just from the chemist, like when you go with a prescription and the person looking at it is looking at you like what's going on with you, even in church sometimes. So I remember many times in the past when I'd be told, oh, maybe you just have demons or spirits,
Mental illness is an illness, just like any other illness. And that mental illness can be treated. Mental illness is not witchcraft.